in the last couple of years. Actually, first of all, thank you for the invitation, definitely, and for the conversation. During this context, indeed, it's quite interesting and encouraging to discuss about business, investments, growth, good messages from also from the central administration. In the last couple of years, I guess, in Romania, public sector, private sector, central administration, government, we gave a good example of what we can achieve if we can manage to cooperate. Because from digitalization to the tax collection, from investments and EU funds rooting in the economy, actually, definitely banking sector had an important role. But we have seen predictability, we have seen open doors for dialogue and for discussions at the government level. And I guess, indeed, it's a good thing that in Romania, when we hear news and analysis about neighboring countries, how the markets are behaving, how macroeconomic indicators are trending, we still speak about growth, we still speak about opportunities. I mean, after 30 years, you are not much of a foreign investor. You are already a local here, but on the other hand, it's not the only company that we hear. And actually, if anyone, be it deglobalization, onshoring, or new investments, without any, let's say, that kind of a strategic change, if you look at the map of Europe, if you look at emerging markets, you see a very few target geographies, regions, countries, where you see production and access to, of energy and access to energy resources, from renewable to fossil fuel. You see, access to transportation hubs, be it on the sea or through the roads, connection to rest of the Europe. A young population, a very strong ITC, let's say, background, culture, but also one of the best, if not the best, in Europe, data network, data distribution, a very solid banking sector. Usually, we are tempted to complain about the high regulation, high capital adequacy ratios, and requests from the regulatory, but also National Bank of Romania gave a good example of good strategy, well execution, coherence, and predictability, but continuity as well. So actually, there are very few, except Romania, I don't really recall much geographies, countries where you can really invest, and in different sectors. I even forget to speak about agriculture, from potential in the food industry where we can reach. So it's one of the, indeed, few countries in Europe, part of European Union, with huge potential. It's good that banking sector had been profitable in the last couple of years, so that we can add this back to our capital. And although our maybe investors, shareholders, be it on the stock exchange or for not listed banks, are not directly benefiting from the year-to-year profits, still banking sector growth had been very solid, above the GDP growth for the last couple of years. And this is, I guess, this is a trend which is going to continue, because we still, as Radu was mentioning, we still have a very low level of financial inclusion. Even at Banca Transilvania, we think that in order to maintain our market share, we should be doubling our balance sheet in the next 5 to 7 years, because the market will grow. We see efforts of fiscalization. We see that governmental programs are, guiding people more towards cooperation with the banks, making their business out of the shadow economy, but on a fiscal environment. This helps us to analyze better businesses. This capitalizes businesses. So I would say, indeed, the context when we speak about war, inflation, supply chain issues, all the challenges coming also externally from US now, it doesn't paint a very happy picture. We don't want to be naive, but on the other hand, we are still very optimistic about our geography, about our investments in Romania. Definitely, as Banca Transilvania, we are very committed to grow further. We are investing heavily in our, let's say, phygital growth, because we invest in digitalization, but our physical network, one of the largest in Romania, is our main capital because we are very close to the customers, also on-site, not only online. And we think that this is a strategy for the next few years, will continue to be the winning strategy. We are making our plans for the next phase, for the next chapter of Romania, when we are speaking about new versions of software, maybe for Romania 3.0. Now, how we can, accelerate, how we can actually position ourselves well so that we can accelerate and contribute to this growth story further.